Good morning, Taurus. How are you? Or whenever you see this message, this is your mid September reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. It's for Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, and Venus. If you don't resonate with this message, if you go and maybe look at some of your other placements, you will find something that is relevant to you. Um, it's always sort of good maybe to take a look at least your top three um zodiac signs, and normally you can sort of start to piece different bits together, and then you end up with a kind of personal reading for yourself. So that might be something you want to have a look at. So let's see, what does Taurus need to know for mid-September to the end of September? What do we need to know? We have the new moon coming in on the 22nd of September. Release old patterns. And that new moon on the 22nd is at 29 degrees. So there's definitely a lot of old or cycles or patterns that are coming to a close, things that we've been dealing with, and inspiration hunt. There's things that we have been dealing with for a number of years, maybe not necessarily always with external parties, but within ourselves. Let your ship set sail. So it's time to move on here. So there's definitely something closing up here for you, Taurus, with a new beginning. I want to say coming into play. You're more powerful than you know. Maybe letting go here of a little bit of self doubt. Am I capable of this? Am I strong enough to do this? Wisdom of the solar plexus, and split your focus. So I kind of get with this, it's a case of, there's been a bit of self doubt. Maybe there's been those around you have made you feel that way, Taurus, and you're now sort of getting ready towards the end of this month to let go of that limiting beliefs. You are capable of it. You have a lot to offer here. Wisdom of the solar plexus, there's a lot of creativity there. There's a lot of ideas wanting to come out. The numbers of the cards are 16, 24, 43, 12, 7, and 40. So we have three fours here, 4, 4, 4. So you are protected. You may want to just Google that angel number and see what it means for you. Whatever you're dealing with at the minute, what's that message trying to tell you? So let's see, releasing old patterns. What is going on with Taurus? Ace of Swords, the truth. Seeing the truth here. Seeing the truth in the situation, Page of Cups. See the way that he's like working, painting with his easel. There's so much creativity here for you, Taurus. Seeing the truth. What does Taurus need to know here? Strength card. This is, letting go of these limiting beliefs, the things that have been holding you back. Am I good enough for this? Seven of Wands. Letting go of those things that have kept you blocked. Nine of Pentacles. Moving forward here as a confident, independent energy. Four of Wands. Eight of Swords wanted to come out there. Ten of Swords. Might be something here, Taurus, in a family situation that has sort of held you back here, and there may have been some sort of backstabbing, or I feel more just the support the support was never really there for you, Taurus. You sort of had to be your own support system here. You just didn't feel like your back was always guarded. You had to kind of guard your own back. It feels here, this is kind of like a bit of a childhood thing for you, Taurus, that might be coming to a close as this month goes out. Queen of Cups. You've had to nurture yourself here. So we could be closing up some childhood wounds for you this month. Things from the past, just that you didn't feel fulfilled. You've almost had to like mother yourself in a way, parent yourself here. Three of Swords. Realizing some truths, maybe about family. You know, they don't they didn't have your back, or they don't have your back as much as what you feel they should have. The world. There's a change in the wind here. You're definitely changing your perception about things. Whether you have felt in the past you have always been at the beck and call of family members, and they have always sort of like, just been able to call on you, and you have came and sorted issues out for them, but yet that has never always been reciprocated. Three of Pentacles. Good old Taurus, give them a ring here. They'll come and sort this out. But yet, no one ever lifts the phone and says, Taurus, how are you? You've always felt like you're on your own, and maybe always been treated a bit like an outsider here. And you're like, this isn't, I'm not going to overgive the situation anymore. Star card. I'm going to focus on me here. Maybe something you're working on here, Taurus, too. Four Cups. And you maybe know that these sort of family members, and I pick it up as family, you take it as it resonates to you. It could be friend group, it could be work related too. But I feel that you feel that these people may not be supportive. Six of Wands. This is you moving forward into the public domain, being seen publicly, being celebrated publicly. These family members might not like that. There could be a lot of chitter chatter behind the back trying to put you down. You're not that special, Taurus. Trying to keep you stuck. And you see that now. You see sort of through your childhood and stuff here, where these people didn't sort of step in to elevate you. They always try to keep you back. Ace of Pentacles. They try to sort of like be quiet. Don't be too loud. That kind of vibe I'm getting here. But what we got to understand when we're dealing with a lot of childhood stuff too, and things maybe to do with our parents and those that we grew up with, you know, they have their lessons too. And this is something, if this has been done to you, this was probably done to them. But the difference is when you step in and you sort of say, enough's enough, I'm not going to carry this type of put down onto my children or the next generation. It stops. It's having that realization of this is not okay. I feel there's something around this of that these people sort of feel like, well, this is the way we were treated, so this is the way we treat you. But that's not right. If you have not been treated right by somebody, you don't go on and treat somebody different, somebody else that way. You say, right, well, that was wrong, so I'm going to make sure that I don't treat somebody else like that. But this realization hasn't happened. These people don't see that. So if they had a kind of rough childhood, or maybe, they were put down and they weren't sort of given enough nourishment and things like that, that's been passed to you. But the click, the light bulb moment didn't come on and say, that's not the way to parent. That's not the way to treat people, full stop, let alone treat sort of your bloodline either. So it feels here there's been quite a, you haven't seen it, and over the last while you've seen it. You've started to realize Page of Pentacles. And you're like, I'm not going to be treated like this anymore. This is not, I have a really great opportunity here. I mean, Ace of Pentacles here. And it feels like these people are trying to keep you from that. And you're like, I'm not going to miss my opportunity to keep me stuck. Knight of Cups. Feels like you have options here, Taurus, on what you want to do. There could be more than one avenue you can pursue in this. Whatever is coming in for you. Two of Cups. Maybe a love offer here too. Knight of Swords. But all in all, that's filling your own cup. That's starting to look after you. Instead of going around and filling everybody else's cup up and making sure they're okay, this is Taurus now making sure that I'm okay. I'm okay first. I sort me out first. If I have time and I have the availability, then certainly I will help. But I'm not going to, I'm not sort of going to give up my plans. I'm not going to give up my needs just to come running to people who don't appreciate it. Knight of Swords here, they're not happy. Two of Swords. It's sort of like, and it's fear based on their behalf too. Whenever the fear that is there that there's maybe not the same level of control anymore, that they feel they have that control over you, and you're going, no. If this is like a parent thing, don't be surprised that you get the old, or maybe it's something that you're well versed in, getting the I'm your mother, I'm your father. How dare you? If I need something, you should be at my beck and call. How dare you? What do you mean? Don't be surprised that the old, hierarchy card doesn't get through him. Ten of Pentacles, you know, you dissing the family justice by not, pulling your weight and helping here. Six of Pentacles, no equal give and take. Look at all we've done for you, Taurus. What are you doing for us? Only problem is, this never happened. What, or it's being held over your head. Well, we raised you. We give you everything you needed when you were a child. By the looks of things, they didn't. They gave the bare minimum. At the same time, as what I go back to saying is, this was what they were used to. This was what they got. Whatever they showed you and whatever you got was what they got when they were kids. If we're talking about um if we're talking about uh parents, family here, High Priestess. You have abilities here which probably scared the shit out of them. Five of Swords. Seven of Swords. Fucking hell. Taurus. I think you have abilities here that maybe you have voiced to them or spoken maybe about spiritual stuff or, you know, your beliefs and things like that. And there's a lot of chitter chatter about this, and like, I don't think they believe you. I don't think they believe you. But you're at a stage now of like, whether they believe me or not doesn't really matter. The sun, they're going to see. They're going to see. You are a powerful manifester. when they're going to see it, it's going to be publicly seen here. And it's like, it makes them look really silly. You know what? Fast forward movement here. Something is like, I don't know whether it's something regarding social media here, Taurus, that you're doing, or just whatever it is you're working on. I feel whatever it is that is released here, it seems to like take off really quickly for you and spreads very quickly. So it's like there's a lot of chitter chatter about it, but externally from the family, really good chitter chatter about it. And this is what this Five of Swords kind of manipulation energy is about, because it's like they're being proven wrong. They can't deal with it. They can't deal with being proven wrong because they've stood the ground throughout your childhood here that they were always right. What they said was the gospel, according to mummy and daddy. And now it's being shown that actually mummy and daddy didn't know anything at all. Fear. This is the biggest thing here that has been fear based on their behalf. And that's sort of the thing that I want to emphasize, that, if you have any anger towards parents or whoever this may be for you, so you have to understand it has come from fear. This is the number one thing. They fear change, they fear the unknown. They were taught to keep small, say nothing. They that's the way they taught you. Don't say anything, don't make yourself too big, don't have an opinion, stay quiet. And now you're stepping out of that. And this is what's coming into play. So any Five of Swords, any backstab, and any sort of arguments that are being had are based on the fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. The outcome of all choices in life is determined by two emotions, fear and love. Your soul is made of the energy of love, and fear is an earthly manifestation of a challenge. To embrace and wallow in fear is to go against your very being. Fear, in its many guises, is the obstacle that your soul uses to test whether to stay on track. For a soul, human life can be very difficult, but acknowledging that your soul's true nature is love will always help you on your path. When fear rears its ugly head, it is really an opportunity for you to stare it in the eye and turn that doubt into trust. View it as a teacher. What lesson are you learning from those fearful emotions? The more you use the energy of love to diffuse fearful situations, the less often they will present themselves. That's the thing, these family members, parents, whatever it is, have never had the strength to stand and look fear in the face and say, why do I feel this? But they've just passed it on to you here, Taurus. I'm going to go to the extent with this. I want to take a deeper look. What's coming in for you? What blockages there may be? What's the outcome? And then we'll get you some more angelic advice.